my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You like my oxygen, make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in, from the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up, break you in and break you out. In the end, we're gonna make.
Dionna, this episode is perfect for you. This is all-time high, and we're back with another edition.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what you have in store.
You don't even know what you don't know. This
No,
is definitely a vibe, hence the vibey shirt that I've got on. The vibe in the
I
market
noticed
right
that
now,
actually.
though. What's that?
I noticed when I was like, hey, look at his shirt. It's like, I almost felt like Hawaiian and I looked at it, but I love it. Like, it's great.
It's just a different vibe. And this episode is a different vibe. You still want to like, you still want to subscribe, you still want to follow and all those things. But we're looking at a market that's sitting around 2.4 trillion. We're looking at a market that has Bitcoin just under 70,000 as we are recording this episode. And so, you know about the DC Blockchain Summit, right? Who's meeting and where are they meeting? Can you share with the listeners a little bit about that?
Yeah. So Perry Boring and Matthew Rozak started the Chamber
He's not
of Digital.
boring, just in case we're wondering.
No, who's not boring. She's so amazing. Like we shout out to Perry Ann. You're awesome, girl. So they started a long time ago putting together a coalition to help educate the government on how digital assets could actually be advantageous to the way that we do business and how to interpret them and how to write legislation that would be helpful instead of what's been happening. And so every year they have a blockchain summit in DC where they invite different people around the industry, different people from Congress to come and talk about the latest and the greatest in the digital asset class.
So they're having that right now. Like, and I've been watching because they're uploading video.
Oh, yeah?
Have you been watching?
No, I haven't. No, I've been working. I've been working really hard.
Well, hey. To be fair, for a couple of years, we supported the DC Blockchain Summit.
We did, yeah.
Right? I worked directly with Perry. And so it seems like we've coordinated this conversation as if there were show notes pre-episode that we talked about, which we occasionally do and often don't. And this just ironically happens to be one of those times where that has not occurred. However, it seems like it has. But here's what's crazy, because I'm watching these shows while I'm working.
Right.
This is my work. It isn't just a hobby. And as I look out for the alpha for all the listeners out there, hi, Mom.
Hi, Chuck.
Yeah, there we go. The thing that I found that I didn't know, I knew we went over this in a previous episode, all the people that are attending, all the people trying to take credit, all the congressmen, House of Reps, senators, lobbyists, all the things, all that.
Yeah.
Guess who Perry Ann got on the show?
Who?
Well, I'm just going to show you.
Uh-oh.
One of your favorites.
I'm excited. She's so like, can I say she's a badass? Sorry. I don't know, but she is.
And this
totally
is like the most subtle flex, but really, yeah.
CZ!
I told you.
I love it. What do you say? Do we get to hear it?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm going to play a little bit for you and have you kind of respond to what it is that CZ is going to talk about. She's going to ask a few questions. Here we go.
Some of the things media say today about me are just...
Oh, wait a second. So I was
you might want to slow him down. He talks fast anyway.
Yeah, that was super fast. So we're going to go playback speed 1. He was talking about the media in particular and how they portray him.
Completely off, right? So number one, they tried to make me, like Forbes tried to pay me as getting rich over the last 6 months, which is not possible. I don't know how they made that calculation. The other, Wall Street Journal says, I'm somehow trying to facilitate terrorist financing in Iran. I have zero interest in doing that. I live in a country that's being attacked by Iran, right? And even before that, I was just not interested in that. And I can tell you that no exchange, no business wants to touch that. There's no benefit. Like, they don't generate trading fees. There's no benefit. So all this narrative, they're just they latch onto something negative. They just want to attack.
Notice, did you catch what he said is his entire business model there? No business wants to do this because it would impact what? Trading fees. Oh my. Oh my. No wonder they do what they do. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Perry Ann's coming soon to a click near you.
So there's a lot of misconceptions out there, and the reason for those attacks are somewhat understandable because they're different motives. But the way they're attacking, they're completely using false, baseless information. So I hope that will change over time. But I think eventually the truth will come out. So we've seen, the truth coming out in court.
Crazy too. He's willing to be attacked by the media. Just tell the truth about what it is that you're saying.
Yeah.
And then listen to what Perry Ann says.
Which relies on evidence, which they are not, right? So we've seen that happening.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. And thanks for bringing that up. So, I mean, the narrative that we saw just against this technology, against this industry is that, well, the only thing Bitcoin and crypto is good is to, be a tool for illicit finance. And that's really been put on you, the companies that you founded and started, like Binance. There's a lot of allegations in the media right now about that. And then, but this has gone to the courts, to your point. Talk a little bit about those cases. You've had some very big wins. I do find it a little odd that these media outlets and these journalists that have been so hyper fixated on reporting on you or Binance and this illicit finance beat and theme, they've been all over it. But as soon as there's a win for you or Binance, crickets. There's no update to the story. These are critical updates that have really not been widely reported on. So why don't you just tell us what's going on and how the courts, again, looking at facts, evidence, don't always meet what the media is trying to paint about you or Binance.
Now tell me, is that as animated as you've ever seen Perry Ann?
I know. I love her. She's got some spunk to her.
You know what got her going though? Truth.
Yes.
Cause she's a journalist. That's kind of where she's got that background. Now she's been doing this role and responsibility for many years and now is on the board of the Blockchain Summit and is still able to get people like CZ at, visually, virtually to converse.
Good. Because you know what? He just sat there and spoke to all of the congressional people who attended the blockchain summit. So it was very smart of him to get on there and to be able to say his piece rather than allowing them to be influenced by what they're reading in the media, right? So it's here's his platform to be able to come out and say the truth. And good for Perry Ann. I love freedom fighters. Bump the narrative. If you're listening to everything the mainstream media is telling you, you're missing a huge part of the puzzle, a huge part. And I'm glad that he got to say his piece.
Yeah, well, let's see what he says, right? He's saying they've been lying about me. I don't mind if they talk bad, but if you talk bad, just say that things are true. Yeah. She's saying, well, they tell you all the bad things about you. They just don't say the good things about you. What would you like them to say? And here's what you might not know that you didn't know. Did you know he's writing a book, Dionna?
I did not know that, but I'm not surprised.
I can't wait. I'm going to get you a copy. We're going to listen to it. We're going to share with the readers what it's all about.
I mean, a day in the life of CZ.
Yeah. So we both met Perry Ann. Have you met CZ?
I have. Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Do tell.
I mean, we travel in some of the same circles. So at different meetups and, I'm not best friends with him, but I've met him at social gatherings and he's always been a down to earth guy. Here's an interesting story. When I first got into crypto was around the time that Binance launched. Okay. And before there was listing fees, the way that Binance worked it, when the way they got themselves out was they allowed every month they had a competition of who could get the most community participation in a digital currency. And the winner got listed on Binance. And I was part of a cryptocurrency community that actually participated and we came in second and we were still able to get on Binance. And this is back in, September of 2017-ish, right? And it was very, very early days. So I've been able to watch them from the conception of how they've operated. I've been participated in actually being listed onto their platform, how they do business, how they've grown throughout the time. I definitely paid attention a lot during the whole FTX debacle. And it was because of CZ that, for better or worse, that entire thing blew up. So, I'm a big fan. I think he's legit. I don't think that he's the monster everybody paints him out to be.
No, and he's cooperated with regulators, served time. He talks about this in a second. Let's jump back in and see what he says.
All right.
Sure. I'll just put a disclaimer. I'm not a lawyer, so I may say some things that are not legally tight, but this is just my layman understanding. So I have been personally sued together with Binance, and sometimes including Binance US. They usually sue the three of us together for terrorist financing. And I think what they call is ATA cases, anti-terrorist.
Yeah, if I'm your lawyer, CZ, stop talking. Like, that is not what you want to be saying on a screen in front of, period. But whatever, here we go.
Something, there's a term for it. And then they were trying to latch onto my plea with the US government, like from 2023, and also whatever they can come up with in the media, etc. But the court actually relies on evidence, right? So in the last 2 weeks, two courts in the US, two federal courts in the US dismissed those cases. Basically, the judge said, like, there's a 900-page document, which is, I believe the word they use is wholly unnecessary. There's no evidence. It's just like, you write 900 pages, like with 3,000 paragraphs, trying to belabor a point. So I think I'm actually very thankful for the U.S. court system. I think the U.S. judicial system is actually very well designed. They rely.
Interesting for him to say.
He's the only one that thinks that. Sorry. But,
I mean, that was the Gary Gensler regime. Regulation by enforcement is what he's talking about, and I think he got served after he spoke on stage at a conference in New York. And remember, we've done this episode. He didn't do anything illegal because there aren't any laws around it. Whether we like it or not, that is real. That is true.
Yep.
And so he was pardoned more recently for all the activity. And yet here's a guy somehow who's been through all that rigmarole, has actually served time in another country, is still willing to get on quote unquote air and say things out loud that arguably he shouldn't be saying. What do you think his motivation is? Why is he willing to still put himself at risk in that way, given what he's already been through?
I mean, honestly, what does he have to lose? Like, they're already coming at him. The courts have already found in his favor. And now you have an administration that's coming out and providing clarity. I think he probably feels actually the freedom to be able to say those things, which honestly is kind of the premise of America, right? Is that you can come here and say, not necessarily without recourse, but without retribution. So it should not be that the government is coming after him for speaking freely, which I think is some of the things that we've seen happen before, even though we claim to be the country of freedom of speech. And let's be honest, what happened in 2023? Why did all this start in 2023?
You tell me. I don't know. I can guess.
Was Election? That not FTX?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, wait. So what kind of capitalism is it called? Benevolent capitalism? Have you heard this before?
No.
Oh my gosh. So this is the concept, and your buddy SBF, I'm kidding. I shouldn't kid about that. But Sam Bankman-Fried believed in benevolent capitalism, which essentially says if capitalism is the ends justify the means in terms of profitability, it further extends it by saying, well, if I give back to good causes, then by whatever means necessary. So probably less capitalism, more Machiavellian.
Yeah.
In terms of the ends justify the means. So I'm kind of crossing up different metaphors. But the idea is if I make the money and I give it to a good cause, then whatever I did to make the money makes it okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then let's be clear, the good causes were a stadium in Miami, a stadium in LA, a bunch of places like property in the Bahamas,
commercial with Steph Curry,
funneling money through Ukraine and the government, allegedly. Allegedly. You're Schmoverman. Darn it. We're so close.
It's over.
We were so close.
It's over.
He was, yeah, I mean, he's such a poor example. I mean, he was definitely, I understand that was his philosophy, but that was just that was fluff. It was a fluff philosophy.
It was a cover in some ways. And so CZ, they knew they were in trouble, and I'm going to start it. You can finish it. They basically he said, I want to help the crypto space. I realize FTX is a big player. It has a large profile. And he said, Sam, if you let me look at your books, I'd be happy to help you figure out a way to make this deal work. And to be fair, there's some players in crypto that have helped other companies survive for the greater good of the space. It seemed like that was going to be the case, but 24 hours in, what happened?
Well, there was a little bit more before that. The reason that CZ even offered was because not Cointelegraph, Consensus. What's Consensus?
They're tied to Ethereum.
No. The publication. I'm thinking CoinDesk. So okay. CoinDesk, somebody had gotten a hold of FTX's books and realized that a lot of their value was heavy in FTT, which was their own digital currency. So if they're holding the majority of their own digital currency, how is it so high? You know what I mean? Like, so it was understood that they were inflating the numbers. Once that got leaked, it started a bank run a little bit on FTX. And so SBF started getting on the phone and calling people, trying to get people to bail him out because a bank run had started because everybody understood that there was going to be no liquidity where their money was being held.
In other words, they'd hypothecated FTT to such a level that if everybody wanted all their money all at once, there wasn't enough of the money to go around. This was their imaginary internet money. Yes?
Yep, correct. Okay. Now, CZ owned part of FTT and FTX. Like CZ was a holder in it. So he had his own incentive to get in there and try to help rectify the situation. Once he looked at the books, he was like, it's beyond saving. And once he came out publicly and said that, it really crushed FTX. And it opened up the entire investigation because $8 billion disappeared. It was the single biggest loss of net worth ever in the history of America in 24 hours.
Yeah. And this is not related, but it is. It's kind of a parallel and a tangent. There's like the right way and the wrong way to do things. And so Binance has their own coin as well. Binance, they do. BNB, and it's a top 10 coin. Now, it was not on the SEC list that you gave out in a previous episode, but they too are providing rewards to their consumers that hold that coin, all who are investing with the idea that it will go up in value and that there'll be enough exit liquidity at the right time to have somebody else come in and support the coin at that moment.
Well, but Binance BNB is actually like Ethereum. So it's smart contract logic where you have to pay for like the gas fees in BNB. So it copies more of an Ethereum framework than some of the other.
Is it like Ethereum in that there's unlimited supply?
I believe so. I'd have to go back and look.
There's a previous episode that we covered this particular topic. It's great entertainment if you haven't had a chance to see it.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're funny people. Well, I'm entertaining. You're funny.
I'm not funny. I try. Some days are better than others. I don't know.
What are you gonna do? Yeah.
What do you do? Do the best you can. What little you got. Which is the same with your investment. Don't ever invest more than what it is that you can afford to lose. Don't tell a joke that you can't cover.
I don't think that's the same at all. Not financial advice. Not I guess funny advice either.
Not financial, not funny advice either. Yeah, that's the truth. So anyway, the whole interview, we only covered a couple of minutes with Perianne and CZ, but it's worth seeing the whole episode. Two leaders in the industry, and to them, I think, even though we're at this trough, if you will, because we've been up in the $3.4 trillion range. Now we're sitting down here at 2.4, 2.5. Their collaborations now, their conversations now, the both sides of the aisle coming together, to me, portend a future that's bigger than it is currently and there for the greater good.
Yes. Yeah, we'll say that. I won't get into a whole nother. We'll just say that.
Tell me if there's conflict or is there? It's what we don't know that we don't know that's going to kill us. So what's going to kill?
I think that government being involved was the complete opposite of what crypto was intended for. But if we see that government is going to get involved and they're going to exploit this asset class into a way that we can create wealth without adding more inflation to the dollar, I think they're going to do that. And that's an opportunity for us to participate. But when you say, that are we excited that government's getting involved? No.
But it's going to soak up the liquidity, and that's why the government's involved.
Yeah.
To me, like the form serves the function. Our $38 trillion in debt, also covered on a previous episode, is why we need to absorb as much liquidity as we possibly can. And without going into great detail, in the last few weeks, we've got this interesting scenario, one side driven by oil, the other side driven by AI, where we're going to be potentially in an inflationary environment where we cut rates. Oh my. What'll happen to those products that have limited supply? Because if you cut rates, you're essentially quantitative easing, whatever. You're letting your money printer go burr. And when that happens, when there's additional liquidity in the market, risk assets, the curve extends and the investments go more heavily into crypto. Fair enough?
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're banking on. That's, and I think us being able to articulate this to our viewers and let you guys know these are the opportunities in front of you is the entire reason we're here.
Yes. And so I don't know that there's going to be international collaboration, but I think part of what crypto allows for, given the technology, is for transactions internationally across platforms. Just like you can talk on a Zoom call with anybody, anywhere across the world.
Yeah.
Well, think about that financially. The technology exists.
Yeah.
It's the cooperation and collaboration that does not. So Dionna, let's you and me, let's hope that CZ and Perry-Ann, you should get Perry-Ann to be a guest on this show.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah, we can. Well, you should. We can. We'll both reach out to her.
She may not, I don't know. She may want, I don't know. She'll be like, why are y'all talking on this show? That's fine. We'll get her on here.
We'll get her on here.
And have a good time. I don't know about CZ. That'll be up to you. You can do that one. I'll get Perry-Ann, you get CZ. We'll make episodes of it and do a thing. Next time, we'll do that on All Time High. Thank you, Dionna.
Yes, bye.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my